At the outset, let me first thank Cochin Chamber of Commerce for giving me this great opportunity to express my views through this very vibrant and new method of video streaming. On May 12, 2020, like every other citizen, I too was glued to my television screen, waiting to hear the future course of action on this rather rampant and widespread COVID-19 and the impending lockdown. We all know that the lockdown has crunched our economy, and the revival will be a difficult task for everybody involved. When the Prime Minister announced the Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan based on five pillars, which included infrastructure, technology, energy, legal reforms, etc., not many were aware of what this would entail. And then thereafter, the finance minister announced a 20,000 lakh crore package spread across five press conferences for various sectors, which included, farmers, and migrants, and laborers, agriculture, coal, mineral, aviation, defense, health, education. Right now, this fiscal package that was announced for a number of these sectors, there were also a number of legal reforms that were announced by the ministry in coordination with various other cells, including the Ministry of Corporate Affairs, etc. There have been several critics that have argued that this fiscal package has not really benefited anyone, and it has not really materialized into monetary benefits for laborers and migrants, and it's not seen it's not seen money in their hands. This video, therefore, and as requested by Cochin Chamber of Commerce, is only to encapsulate all of the fiscal reforms and the legal reforms that have taken place in the last maybe say 2 weeks or so. And it's not to pass any judgments or concerns or to sit down and analyze what is right or what is wrong with any of these reforms. First off, I'm sure all of you will know that this is not the first time such reforms have happened, especially the legal reforms. This has been the way the government has dealt with the lockdown, starting with the first RBI reforms that came in sometime in the end of March and the first week of April. And that included moratoriums on your term loans, on your credit card payments, and all of that, which has now, ironically, as I speak to all of you, has now been extended till the end of August. Now, keeping this in mind, some more RBI reforms have been brought forth in the form of extending working capital loans to NBFCs, and ensuring more liquidity within the economy. The MSME sector and the manufacturing portion of it, I must say, has been the biggest hit sector, apart from the aviation sector, which I'll cover soon. This sector has had a huge infusion of nearly 50,000 crores. The TDS and TDS rates have been cut. The definition of MSME has undergone a drastic change, and it's now based on a turnover criteria. We've also seen a number of labor reforms in this sector, with the PF payments by employers and employees having been reduced from 12% to 10%. The power sector is another one which has had an infusion of nearly 90,000 crores, and some of the companies in the union territories are now going to be privatized. The real estate sector, and this is one sector that the rest of the other sectors look up to for the revival of the economy, and there were a lot of problems with regard to contracts and force majeures and the completion of projects, etc. Now, RERA and all of the authorities, and in fact, even the central government has said that the COVID-19 is going to be treated as a force majeure, and therefore they have extended all of the projects and the timelines for all of the projects by nearly 6 months. The defense sector has had an FDI push, with the automatic route FDI having been increased from 49% to 74%. Factory boards, as part of these defense sectors, will now be corporatized and eventually listed on the stock market. Mining is another sector. It was mostly government-oriented sector, but now that has been privatized, and private companies will now be allowed to bid for coal blocks and sell them in open markets. Private companies will also be allowed to participate in mining explorations. Aviation center, we've not seen one aircraft take off or land, or the airport being open, except for urgent cases in the last, say, 2.5 months or 3 months or so. Now with the aviation industry almost trying to get some kind of an operation slated soon from May 25th or so, we also see that the reforms here include privatization of 12 airports and restrictions on the airspace, which will allow which will save flying time and will also save fuel for all of these airline companies. Now, having looked at the fiscal reforms, let me now move slightly to the legal reforms because that's something that I'm really concerned about. Let's move to the legal reforms, and I look at three or four major sectors as part of the legal gamut. One of them is the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code. The other is company law. The third happens to be a little bit on labor law, and the last is a public policy on public sector enterprises. Um, we saw during maybe the first week of April or so that when the first reform started for IBC, there were a number of changes that were brought about. Now, the entire definition of default is going to undergo a change in terms that any debt that becomes due to the coronavirus is now going to be excluded from the definition of default, right? And the minimum threshold, which was increased to a crore from 1 lakh for the MSME sector. No fresh insolvency proceeding for nearly 1 year now, which means the government is serious about giving the MSME sector a little bit of a push and for ensuring that they really perform well. We did see earlier that a number of changes were brought about in company law in terms of video conferencing facilities. We now see the concept of webinars, and this live video stream is one such example where online virtual courts and virtual hearings are becoming the new normal. Therefore, the company law amendments have now made it quite clear that not just board meetings, but even AGMs can be conducted through online mechanism. This was, as I recall, this was strictly prohibited under the Companies Act earlier, but now that's now been left open. There is also a proposal to decriminalize minor technical and procedural defaults, including inadequacies of board reports, filing defaults, delayed holding of AGMs. Several compoundable offenses have also been dropped rather, and there are lower penalties for small companies, one-person companies, etc. The other key reform that I'd like to point out is the public sector enterprise policy, where there is going to be a strategic sector-wise denomination or categories, I must say, where one PSE will be involved and the remaining can be private companies. Barring these strategic sector PSEs, all other PSEs are going to be privatized, and that's a big change. There are a number of taxation related issues in terms of reduction in TDS rates, filing extensions. I don't want to get into all of these things because it's just minutely detailed and ridiculously over time. So I'm shooting over time as I speak. I will have a short note prepared and sent to Cochin Chamber of Commerce, which can in turn be shared to all of you. I trust this sort of truncates the entire package and the legal reforms. Do reach out to me for any queries, or you can even reach out to Cochin Chamber of Commerce, who will in turn pursue their queries with me. Thank you so much.